What is up, everybody? This is KillerCam1020, and these are your weekly handheld headlines for the week of May 27th, 2024, which is a series where we discuss the most interesting handheld gaming news from around the internet and break down stories like a new upcoming leaked Legion Go model, an ultra-fast SSD specifically made for handhelds, and a new challenger from an unexpected place is about to shake up the entire handheld space. So without further ado, let's jump into our first headline. So, headline number one. The Lenovo Legion Go must be selling pretty well because we just received word from Windows Central that Lenovo is working on a new version of the Legion Go called the Legion Go Lite. What that means exactly is just speculation. However, judging by what Nintendo did with the Switch, we can probably guess that it will be a more budget-friendly option that will cut some corners, which means it will likely have the Z1 non-Extreme APU, which is used in the cheaper ROG Ally, and it will also likely cut corners in other areas like the size and resolution of the display, and it will also probably drop the detachable Joy-Con design for a smaller, more uniform body, similar to that of the Steam Deck and ROG Ally. It's really interesting to me how Asus and Lenovo's strategies differ so dramatically. Asus is working on an enthusiast refresh with the ROG Ally X, and Lenovo is working on a budget-friendly device with the Legion Go Lite. But how much cheaper can the Legion Go Lite realistically be? Give me your best price guess and whether or not you'd be interested in this device in the comments. Speaking of the ROG Ally X, we just got some more possible specs leaked. The ROG Ally X is expected to have the same 1080p 120Hz IPS display, the same Ryzen Z1 Extreme, but now with 24 GB of LPDDR5 RAM, blocked 7500 MHz, 1 TB of storage, and an 80 watt-hour battery, which is double the size of the vanilla ROG Ally battery, which I consider to be the ROG Ally's biggest Achilles heel. If the Ally X has double the battery life, it will likely be a huge selling point for the device. It also has a new black shell that is more comfortable to hold as well, and also implements USB-C Type 4 for external GPUs as opposed to the current Ally, which only supports Asus's terrible proprietary GPU connector called the XG Mobile. Okay, I'm exaggerating. It's not terrible. It's just they're probably going to drop support for it in the future, and people are going to be left with the RTX 4090 laptop GPU, which is still overpriced. But anyways, at least now they fixed that, and they're going to allow anyone to use any eGPU with this device. However, we still don't know the price of the ROG Ally X, but many speculate that it will be around $799 USD, but you won't have to wait long to find out because it will be revealed this upcoming week. While the ROG Ally X may not have an upgraded processor, AMD is in fact rumored to be launching Strix Point APUs for Mini PCs in August. Although not directly associated with handhelds, these APUs are rumored to have insanely good gaming performance, and having Strix Point show up in Mini PCs will give us a good benchmark of what to expect and how well they could fare in gaming handhelds. Regardless though, I believe that Strix Point or a customized version of it will show up in future iterations of gaming handhelds down the line, hopefully sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, if you are looking for a performance upgrade for the handheld you currently own, you are in luck because IRDM just announced an insanely fast 7.3 GB read speed and 6 GB a second write speed M.2 2230 SSD called the Nano Pro, specifically designed for gaming handhelds. IRDM claims that its performance is unmatched, including the SSD that comes stock in your current handheld. Whether or not that boost in speed is actually noticeable in real-world situations is very unclear. However, the release date of the Nano Pro is also unclear at the moment, but when it does launch, it will be available in SKUs that range from 512 GB up to 2 TB, making it perfect for upgrading your current handheld. Sticking with the topic of speed, MSI has been updating the performance of the MSI Claw, and MSI claims that the MSI Claw is now 26% faster than the ROG Ally, which sounds absurd until you realize they're probably comparing it to the Z1 non-Extreme ROG Ally, which you can usually find for $400. So I'd hope that it would be faster than a product that's half its price and is typically considered a budget handheld, but regardless, any and all improvements to the MSI Claw are welcome as it really needs them. So here's hoping that MSI and Intel continue to upgrade the performance of the Claw because we definitely could use some competition in the handheld space for AMD. But we do also have some new competition coming to the handheld space, but it's coming from a completely unexpected place. ADATA, a company mostly known for SSDs and memory, is apparently set to debut its new gaming handheld called the XPG Nia at Computex. We have literally no details at all on this one, so stay tuned and subscribe to know what to expect from ADATA, as we will be talking about it the moment we hear more. But in all honesty, I'm guessing it's probably a rebranded handheld similar to what Antec did with Ioneo. But before we end this week's video, we do have One more story that I think will interest quite a few of you, especially if you're an OLED fan like myself. While we didn't get an OLED screen upgrade with the ROG Ally X, we might be getting our OLED handheld fix with the Zotac Zone gaming handheld. If you haven't heard of Zotac, they are a pretty well-known GPU AIB and were famous for producing the GPU that no one wanted during the shortage of 2020, but bought anyways because a 3080 is a 3080. But jokes aside, I'm actually really interested in this handheld considering how much I enjoy the screen on my Steam Deck OLED. And it is of course confirmed to be powered by an AMD APU, which is rumored to be the Ryzen 7 8840U APU. We also just received more information courtesy of videocards.com that states that the Zotac Zone will have 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5X RAM, a 512GB SSD, an impressive 7-inch 1080p 120Hz AMOLED display with up to 800 nits brightness, Hall effect joysticks, Hall effect 2-stage triggers, a 48.5 watt-hour battery, and it's HDR ready, which I'm not sure what that means exactly, but I guess we'll find out soon. It also states that the cosmetics and internal hardware and spec may differ from the final product, but it also states that it will be available in Q3 of 2024, so we should see it later this year. But I really just hope that Zotac learns from MSI, Lenovo, and ASUS and releases a polished product with functioning software and up-to-date drivers. Is that really too much to ask for? And that's gonna do it for this week's handheld headlines. Hope you all enjoyed the video, as I plan to turn it into a full-time weekly series. And since this is the first video in this format, I appreciate any and all constructive feedback in the comments. But if you'd like to see me continue this series, hit that like button. I also do handheld reviews and related gaming tech content, so if those things interest you, definitely hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell to be the first to know when my next video drops. This has been KillerCam1020. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Peace.